Guess what, Dennis?
What, Kim?
Starbond. We got it.
I've
It's in the
already
store.
used it.
I know. I have too. Very limited compared to you, though.
No, I've only used it the once, so I don't have any deep experience in this, but it worked well for me the first time.
Well, the reason we got it in the store is because we sell a lot of slabs, and we have a lot of boards with, you know, like number 2 boards with knots and things to fill. And sometimes you don't want to use like an epoxy, you know, it's just a small little gap.
Right.
And so we were looking for, you know, the main purpose of it was to fill gaps, small gaps.
And everybody was asking for it, so it
Correct.
was time.
It was time to get it. So we've got it in black and brown and clear, and we've got it in medium, thick, and we do have some thin versions too for just regular gluing applications and stuff like that. But we found a few little things that you might want to think about before you use it.
Yes, it doesn't seem to fill deep. So
Correct.
if you've got something that's a little deeper, you may either have to do it in stages or maybe try, I think what I'm going to try the next time is actually fill in a deeper crack with like a 5-minute epoxy or something and get it down in there.
Oh, sure.
And let that cure and
Sure.
then fill in with the black. I don't know if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
But that's
So-
what I'm going to give it a try.
Yep, I had a similar experience. I had a knot just kind of like this one. And, you know, that's got some depth to it. So what I did was I filled it all the way full, sprayed it with the activator, and the activator hardens it just like that,
Yep.
lickety-split. But what I found was that it didn't harden it below. Once it got to a certain depth, it was still liquefied. So I had to pop it, spray some accelerator in there, and hit that thing a few times to get the whole thing to solidify.
Right.
But if it's a minor fill, like these smaller ones, you can just fill them, hit it with the accelerator, it dries instantly, and then you can just sand it off flush, you're good to go.
Right, right. That's actually what I did with this.
What do you got going on here?
Well, it's a set of nested trays I'm going to make,
Okay.
and it's zirconia, and there was a crack in it, and it was a pretty long one, and it turned out to be kind of deep. I had to fill and sand, fill and sand, fill and sand.
Okay.
And then I turned around and routed it all away.
And
I
then,
wasn't certain that
Yeah.
where the routing was going to happen, so I
Sure.
went ahead and filled it. But I did notice that on the end, right there, there's a crack. It was a small one, but this is going to have finger joints on it.
okay.
So I wanted that to be as solid as it can be when I do
Sure.
those finger joints. So I was able to do that, and it worked out really well. I think it's going to be just fine.
Yeah, so fill it before you machine it, really.
Yep, I filled it, and then I just sanded it, and I just used my random orbit with because I'd already sanded these to 180, so I just
Gotcha.
did that. And I think it's going to be just fine.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
while
Well,
we're
you had
at it, I got another question for you, though, because
Okay.
this is part of that nested trays. And when I routed this, I had some tear out.
Yeah, that happens with the router now
It
and then.
does, but I don't want to remake the part. And I'm going to do a little round over and stuff. So I'm thinking that I might just take some of that clear, either medium,
Or the thick.
yeah,
Yep.
and try to make a little bridge there with some tape, and then fill that, overfill it,
Sure.
and then I'll sand that back
Sure.
to a bit more round, so that when you do grab it with your hand, at least you won't feel that.
Yeah.
You think that might work?
I think it would work great. And I mean, the tape idea I think is brilliant. That should work fine.
I think so.
And the nice thing is you can fill it and hit it pretty quick
Yep.
before it moves anywhere.
Exactly.
And by the time you get, you know, a little bit of a round over on both edges, you're probably not going to have a whole lot left there. But, you know, the other alternative would be to use like the brown color, but that might show up more.
It would, and I even thought about the black, but it'd just be too much contrast, I think.
Sure.
Because I don't really want to draw a lot of attention to this. I want it to be a little more smooth
Yeah,
than it is, and I
right.
don't want to have to sand it.
And you don't
Too
want to
much.
remake it.
No, I could, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
So
Well, and we've got this little piece too, this burl, And I know you're going to make a table out of this
I
with
am.
3 legs. So this flat spot will probably fit up against a wall.
Yep.
But it's got all these little fissures in it, so to speak.
It does.
And we talked about, well, you could either leave them alone, or you could fill them with a clear, so you get that nice smooth top. Or you could even, if you want to enhance it, go with the brown or the black.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
you're going to have to decide.
I know. I'm still pondering that, so.
Yeah, it's a special piece, so
It
I can
is, and
understand.
I'm not going to rush into it, but
Yeah.
I do want to get started on it. And then the more you look at all that, you think, oh my gosh, that's going to take a while.
Right.
So I just got to take a breath and just a little bit at a time, just
Yep.
a little bit at a
Yep.
time.
So what are we looking at when we buy this stuff? What do you get?
Well, it depends on what package you get, but it's going to be a bottle, and it's going to have several tips in it.
That's these little guys right here.
Yep.
Little tiny tips to where you can really get into those small spots.
And that made a difference because in here it was a very small crack. I mean it.
Yeah.
So it was. I'm glad they have those like that.
Yeah, and without them, it actually comes out pretty fast, even though they say it's a thick glue.
Yeah, I know it wasn't as thick as I thought it was going
Yeah.
to be. The accelerator is a big deal. Of course, that's a separate. But
Right. So the idea is you fill it, hit it with the accelerator, it dries instantly, and then you can sand it.
it does, and that's just what I did with this. I had to fill it, spray it, then sand it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I waited, 15 seconds or so, and realized that I didn't get it full, so I just filled some more and
Sure.
sanded it again, and
Sure.
kept going until I got it. And I think on that, even that little crack was, it took me three tries to get it flush.
Same thing here. I filled this probably 3 times before I got
Yep.
the point where I was above the surface. But now I can sand this flush. The black is going to look great with this walnut.
Yeah, it is.
So I think it's a really great, happy medium to filling versus epoxy.
Yeah. I mean, I know everyone's been asking for it, so, and my first try on was a success as far as I'm concerned, so there's a learning curve to it. I mean,
Sure.
it may or may not be a one and done, but
Yeah, but keep at it and you can get about anything filled that
Yeah,
you need, really.
yeah.
So we have all the Starbond stuff and supplies online. If you guys need some, jump on there and grab what you need. I guarantee you're going to like it. It's Dennis approved.
well, I'm giving it a thumbs up, that's for sure.
And for more tips like these, make sure and go to eNotes and sign up for our weekly tips. And that's at thewoodsmithstore.com.